Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to another week on Carlie's Couch. I am so excited to have you here and excited for this quick episode that we're going to jump into. But first, I want to ask a question from the couch. What is the best thing that you have eaten lately? Like the best recipe, the best dish from a restaurant? What is the best thing that you have eaten lately? I want to shout out, I guess this is my first shout out from the couch, Alex Hill, which is at just add hot sauce on Instagram and Substack. Her recipes be bussin', and I haven't made a bad one yet. But the last one I did was a dense bean salad, and it has a rotisserie chicken. It was fuego. So just add hot sauce on social media. Go follow her, and yeah, get your life with these recipes. She also has a series about pooping and getting enough fiber, and we all need that to keep our bodies very healthy, our sugar regulated, everything cleaned out, everything that you need. So I know you didn't tune in for that, but you're welcome. And once you do, yeah, just go follow and support amazing people. Okay, anyways, so today I wanted to talk about, or I'm going to talk about, what do you do when you're not feeling inspired? And what happens when you don't want to do the thing or you're not feeling creatively led? Like, what happens when you feel like you kind of lost your spark? And discuss a couple of ways to help you get that back or start to build things and build momentum to getting your spark back, because I don't think it just happens overnight. It can, so I'm not negating that. But if you feel like you've lost your spark, if you're feeling a little dull, a little tired as we enter the second quarter of the year, as the world is weighing on you and there's just so much going on, this is the episode for you. And I would love to hear, if you feel like you've lost your spark, what are some ways that you get your spark back? But I'm about to share some of the ones that I was thinking about and thinking through. Here are a couple of things that I do when I'm feeling disconnected from inspiration, and a few daily habits that actually help me stay aligned, because they say like luck is preparation meets opportunity. And so you make yourself lucky by being prepared and putting yourself in the spaces for opportunity. I feel like inspiration is the same way. You work to be in alignment, and you put yourself in spaces where you can be inspired and fill your cup and poured into. I don't think it happens by accident. I think that it's great when genius strikes us, or something will be a catalyst for an amazing thought. But I think that there is so much beauty in creating a system and a routine in your life that helps you stay aligned, that helps you stay inspired. And so we'll discuss that today. The first thing that I do when I'm feeling disconnected from inspiration, and something that I make sure to work into my everyday, is I rest. I know, groundbreaking. You probably have never thought of that in your entire life. Wow, I should rest. However, we be knowing and we don't do the things that we know we need to do. Me talking to me and you. Making sure that you're resting. You're not a machine. It is okay to feel overwhelmed, to feel burnt out. It is okay to feel exhausted, disconnected. It is normal. I think we are intaking too much information scientifically. I think there have been studies that show we are taking in way too much information. We're not supposed to know this much about everybody. We're also not supposed to be so inundated. And so I think it's great to rest from social media, to rest from the need of feeling productive in this capitalistic machine. I think it's okay to rest your body when you're working out and moving all the time, to rest your mind. I think it's great to disconnect from social media, to take breaks from self-help, to take breaks from learning and trying to be better. I think it is okay to rest in whatever sense of rest that you need to rest for yourself. There are 7 types of rest, or self-care, but a big part of that is rest. And we did an episode, so if you type like 7 types, Carlie's Couch and things, there's different types of rest. Emotional, physical, which is the easy one, making sure you're getting enough sleep, make sure you're moving your body so you can fall asleep and get great sleep, making sure you're eating healthy, all that stuff. But also disconnecting from the overwhelm that is our everyday. I think that that's really important. The next one is pretty easy, but move your body. In whatever way honors yourself. And sometimes that's walking, sometimes that's running, sometimes that's having a weightlifting program or joining yoga classes or whatever helps you be consistent and consistently show up for yourself. I just got my Garmin watch not too long ago, and it is so helpful. Even little bits of movement, making sure you get your step goal, but also just little low impact movement can have such a drastic impact on how your body sleeps, on how will you rest, on how your body battery is. And so regulating your stress, it also helps you to move stagnant energy. And so for me, when I feel like I'm disconnected from inspiration, it's usually because there's something weighing on me that feels heavy or constricting, or it feels like I'm blocking, like a weighted blanket of anxiety, and things just on me. And so movement helps me get that off. So making sure that that's part of your daily habit, but also if I need to process a big emotion, if there is something blocking me from being productive or feeling good, or something is in my way, I will go work out really hard to get through it. So if that's a big sprint day, if that is kickboxing, if that is something, just until I can work through those emotions and that heaviness and let that emotion process out of my body, is a big deal. And that stagnant energy can weigh on you and can keep you from being able to access your creativity and your spark, and keeping you from showing up for yourself. And so show up for yourself, get that dopamine, get that break, process those emotions, make sure you show up. Another thing that I do when I'm feeling disconnected from my spark is I check in with my highest joy. And this sounds like, okay, Carlie, that feels silly, but it's okay. I always make sure I wake up in the morning. And this is another routine thing that I do, is I wake up with enough time to do a little bit of stuff for myself. And here's where what's bringing me my most highest joy today is, or my most high joy, my highest joy today is, do I want to read this morning? Do I want to take my walk first? Do I want to make my coffee? What makes me feel the most joy? When I think about time blocking, which part of my business is bringing me the most joy? Does this mean that I then do not do the things that are not bringing me joy? No. But what that does mean is that day I prioritize the things that bring me the highest joy. And what's funny and very synchronistic is, so often those things that bring me the highest joy also always put me in alignment. When I talk about where preparation meets opportunity, and I talked about how alignment and opportunity, all that synchronicity, they're so inherently tied, is before one day I was like, man, what's my highest joy? Man, I just want to go to the park today. Like, Carlie, okay, is that the most productive thing I could do? Not necessarily, but it was my highest joy. So even though it didn't make sense, I went. Lo and behold, I ended up seeing somebody I needed to talk to for a project I was trying to work on at the park. This was not a premeditated thing, but my heart led me there. And I truly believe the more you're able to tune into yourself, the higher in alignment you are, the more discerning you are. Those little inklings in your head are not so little. They're very important. And listening to them strengthens your muscle of being able to discern when it really is your highest joy versus when it's anxiety or you're something you're trying to force. And then your alignment meets your preparation, meets your opportunity. So making sure you prioritize your highest joy. Not the most numbing, not the most avoidant things, but the things that bring you joy in this moment, and making time for it intentionally. Next is to serve yourself first. I alluded to this. I make sure when I wake up in the morning that the first part of my day is for myself. As a solopreneur, my inner child be big mad when I spend all day working on stuff for clients, stuff for organizations I'm working with, stuff for other people, but don't ever get to things for myself. And so I think it's really important to carve out that intentional time to focus on me, my health, my projects, my quiet time, my reflection, and it helps balance me out. So then I am able to return to client work and partner work and project work with a full cup, and I'm a much better person. And my inner child isn't screaming at me because I already made sure that I took care of everything that I need to for myself. Next and last on my little list. I lied. Actually, I have two, JK. So the first one is incentivization. And so I like to get myself little treats. I was reading an article talking about how millennial and Gen Z culture right now are like little treat culture, meaning that because things are so expensive, like instead of saving up for the big house, like we just are in this culture of getting ourselves little treats for things, for existing. And I think that that's beautiful. And you can use it to help you do things. So habit stacking. So there was a time when I was trying to do more cardio on the Stairmaster or on the like incline on the treadmill, but I was like bored with it and I didn't want to do it. So I incentivized myself by only being able to watch this show I was trying to watch at the time when I was doing said cardio. And it was a nice little treat. Or I can buy myself the latte, but I gotta finish time blocking, for the 2 hours in the morning, or I have to finish these 6 things, and then I can get myself my little treat. And we're not dogs, but we're not above them. And incentivization actually works for yourself. If you're trying to save money, maybe you have a list of stuff you want, and if you save X amount, then you're able to get this thing off your list. And it's a way to incentivize you to have better habits, but also giving yourself a little treat because we deserve. And now I'm on the last one. Is to do something new, because it is really hard for creative sparks and inspiration to live in a routine, a boring routine. And so don't let your life be on autopilot, making sure that you are mixing up your everyday. If it's taking a different way to work, taking an afternoon off to go to the cinema or to try a new workout, or doing something different, doing a little staycation, but breaking it up, taking a day trip. Mixing it up can help you rediscover your spark. I feel like that's one of my favorite things about traveling too, is it reminds me of how small I am in this vast universe. Like, shout out to the crew of the Artemis too for reminding us like how big this universe is and how beautiful, and just the awe and wonder in that amazing trip. And even thinking about that, like for me, it like kind of helps me reset my spark. Like, wow, the world is so big and I am so small, and there's such beautiful things. And I think there's just so much going on. So it's a lot for us to hold the beauty of the awe and wonder in the Artemis, but also the heaviness of war and inflation and the nonsense that's going on in the United States right now. And so I think anything you can do to keep your whimsy, to keep your joy, to keep your rest, to keep your peace is a radical act. And so fighting for that, like fighting for yourself. That's how we fight for each other. Okay, so the ways that I reconnect with myself and spark my inspiration when I'm feeling disconnected or unaligned is resting, checking in with my highest joy, moving my body, serving myself first, incentivization, and then, or a treat, buy myself a little treat, and then doing something new. But the daily habits and the way that I build these in are getting up early to make sure that I have time for myself. When I do that, time blocking for myself and actually show up. Because what happens is we'll put time on our calendar for ourselves, and then we'll just let a meeting run over into it, or let someone call and interrupt our time and not actually focus on said thing. And you need to protect your time like you would the CEO of a company you've been dying to meet with. If Beyonce was like, hey, let's go have coffee, you're not about to let something run into that. So why are you letting that happen for yourself, for your dreams? You're that important. At the start of my day or the night before, I do a brain dump, because there's a lot of stuff going on in my head and what I want to get done. But if I do it the night before, I'm able to get it all out on paper and then prioritize and look through like, what are the actual actionable steps? What are the things I need to complete that will move me forward in doing that? Moving your body. I'm going to keep saying that. Move your body, move your body, move your body. No Nina Sky, but move your body, because that will just make you feel good, help you process emotions, help you stay healthy, help your heart health, help your bone health, your muscles. It's just an unending, infinite level of benefits for you moving your body. Another one is eating well and staying hydrated, because with a more clear mind, you're able to process and show up for yourself better. Plus, you just feel better. And then you're more pleasant, and then you have better meetings. It is literally all the things you're doing to make yourself more lucky. And then the last one is just getting some sunshine. Because I don't know about y'all when they say that we are like plants, just with more complicated emotions, but I feel like a little plant, and I be wilty when I'm stuck inside all day. And so even a little walk around the block can help reset me just enough to get me to move into my next task. Just taking little breaks throughout the day. So that's the last one. Just taking little breaks throughout the day to breathe, to be more mindful, to be present. So hit me at Carlie's Couch. Let me know how you are keeping a hold of your spark, or how you re-spark yourself when you're feeling like heavy or disconnected or blocked. And also let me know if any of these helped you, or if you have any questions for me or any ideas for another episode. I am so excited to have you here, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye, y'all.